Alright guys, Scott here, Pine Barren Craftsman. The fans just kicked on. They've been coming on and off. So it's been running for about 15 minutes, I guess, 10 minutes. Running great. Nice and warm. Fans are working. It's a little soapy out here. I cut the tips off because they weren't straight and I couldn't get them straight. So I put quick little dumps underneath the quarter panels, kind of like where the factory would be. It's a cold morning, but it's supposed to be in the 60s this week, so hopefully we get this snow. I doubt it. All right, let me shut this down so I can talk. Pull it up. I got the back of the car outside of the garage, but it still blows some fumes in, so be careful if you're playing with the fumes, man. All right, that's about it. A lot better. This gauge isn't working, and I know why. I'm going to tell you what happened there. The water temp gauge is not working. It can't be, because I'm up and up. And 180 degrees sender's turning on the fans every so many minutes. I'm leaking some transmission fluid still. I got to figure out, maybe I got to go through a couple of heat cycles because I changed that reusable transmission pan. Transmission pan gasket. There's got to be a reason why it's leaking. I mean, I've gone through everything. So I got this under here for now to catch whatever drops. So, the reason why that interior water gauge is not working is because I used Teflon tape to seal the fitting, and it's got to ground through. I did pipe dope here, just a little bit, but I think I used Teflon tape in the back. So I got to loosen that up and make sure we make good contact on the gauge. So I'm sure I could ground that out and see if the gauge works too, like I did with the sender. But everything looks good. Nothing's leaking, knock on wood. Go through a couple heat cycles. I'll check my intake manifold bolts, make sure they're snug down. Sorry, got a little phlegm. Transmission cooler lines worked great. No leaks. No spatters. Okay. Under here. Very nice. The fittings are really tight going on. I'm very happy. Hopefully this will be a good runner for me this summer to cruise with the family all over town and beyond. I didn't come in far enough. There's always the problem of shakedown runs and testing, making sure that it's safe before you put the kids in it. And it'll never be perfect. These are old cars, especially being customized motors, a different motor in there, different radiator now support. Some of these things might work, gremlins in and out. I'm gonna let this cool, and then I'll burp it and check for the fluid. Yeah. It's doing pretty good. I got the overflow hooked up. Obviously, we still need to do some detail work here, like I said. But this was just a tester. I don't know about you guys, but I disconnect the battery if I'm going to not be driving it every day. Just because if there's a wire somewhere that hasn't been diagnosed, I don't want an electrical fire in a garage in a house where I'm sleeping right above the car. So I tend to take them apart and just let them sit. It's not a big deal. I just snug it up before I go. There's no way you can test out every wire in the car unless you actually go out of your way and take everything apart and look and run a whole new wire harness. So I don't know if there was ever a mouse in there that chewed. So I always kind of think about that before I go to bed at night. Make sure I just disconnect things. I don't leave a garage with hot stuff either. If you just got done welding, kind of hang out in the garage for a little while. Like I'm letting the air out right now. Got a little stoned. Stoned off the fumes. So yeah, let me know what you think, man. It's running. It's cycling. I'm gonna check the transmission fluid. Probably should have checked it while it was running there. See if I need to top that off. It's leaking out, so I'm sure I need to add some. All right, guys, stay tuned for hopefully the next couple days we'll be cruising this thing. I don't know. I'm going to go down this hill as long as I can make it back up. I don't want to get stuck in the mud with a dirty bird, man. See ya.